The other day I received an album from a group. It was a two-person group. I had, one plays guitar, one plays drum, which you always wonder, man, how do you keep different music going with just a two-person group? How difficult does that be? I mean, you can have other people come in, but this group is basically just two people. And I got to thinking, I've bought a lot of albums by just, it's a group of two people. And it was, yeah, I thought, well, I'm just going to start looking through my collection to see. And I have some here. I mean, it's not all of them. Some of them I kind of question as calling it a two-person group, but for the most part, I think that they would qualify with that. And it was fairly interesting. It's nice to pull these albums and listen to them again, but there's just some really cool groups out there with just two people. So let's take a look at some two-people groups here. And I think the biggest one, Simon and Garfunkel, that everyone knows. Now, this is my only Simon and Garfunkel album I have. I should get a greatest hits maybe. But yeah, two people, one on guitar, two vocals. They did add a lot of other instrumentation in a lot of their songs the further and further they went, and so it began to become a bigger and bigger group, but basically considered a two-person group. I think like Jan and Dean, two people, but there was always kind of a backing band oftentimes behind them, and that I really don't kiss there. Most of these I'm going to talk about, it's just two people playing. But yeah, that was a big one. So here would be one. Tears for Fears. Considered a two-person group, two-member group. But the thing is, it wasn't just two people playing. There was always a lot more instrumentation. I'm doing a video on packaging, by the way, and this MoFi and their freaking split scenes. It just bugs me. Terrible with them. But so they're classified as a two-person group, but do you ever just hear them just the two people just by themselves? Not too often. Usually there's a whole bunch more going on. So I really don't consider that. My favorite two-person group, my favorite album from a two-person group, is Suicide. They're out of New York. Ellen Vega and Martin Rev. And these guys, you could say godfathers of electronic music, godfathers of punk music. They just made crazy stuff. They antagonized the audience. They would just go up there, Vega singing while Martin Rev is just playing synthesizers, organs, or keys, whatever he has. And it's just the two of them. As Vega spends his whole time trying to antagonize the audience to get reactions, and oftentimes they were pretty bloody reactions. And that's my original OG on there. But I adore this album. I never tire of it. And two people, that was it playing on it. Fantastic songs, Ghost Riders on here, which is just wonderful. Rocket USA, it's all packed with good songs. Another great two-person group, The Kills. And The Kills, they're out of, one of them, Ellison Mosshart, she's from the U.S., and then there's Jamie Hintz, who's from England. So they're kind of together. Indie rock, garage rock. They formed in 2001, still putting out albums. Really good stuff. I have quite a few albums from The Kills. Not a completist, but this is a group I could easily become one because I like their sound that they put together when they do that. And Hintz plays the guitars. A lot of times, a lot of these groups use drum machines. If they don't have a drummer, they got a drum machine going on to help out. But The Kills, great two-person group. Then from Denmark, the wonderful country of Denmark, the Ravenettes. And here you have Sune Wagner on guitar and Sharon Fu on bass, guitar, and vocals. So, and I think Sune, I probably mispronounced that as always. Isn't there great two-man group, two-person group, can't say man, but it's indie rock, it's garage rock, there's some shoegaze in. They formed in 2015. Actually, this group I would call more garage punk. More garage punk. This one here goes back to the 50s, though. They take a lot of 50s stuff and some of the 60s, early rock and roll, and they put that to music on here. Wonderful album. This is another group I have quite a few albums of because I really like what they do, especially as a two-person combo, the Ravenettes. From there, we moved to Italy, and this had me thinking, I haven't even showed this on my Sunday show yet, but I will, the Devils, out of Italy. And for the Devils, we have Erica Switchblade and on vocals and drums, and then you have Gianni Blackula on guitar. And we're just talking, this is just some fantastic garage rock. This group formed in 2015, and you could they'll get a rockabilly feel going at times, but often it's just kind of very much garage punk. It's loud, it's fast, it's furious. It's excellent music from the two-person group, the Devils, and this is Let the World Burn Down. Wonderful, wonderful album that I just recently got in. We also have, and I think these guys are from Denmark. They are from Denmark also. So there's a second Denmark group of two, the Corettes. This one is definitely a tribute to the a lot of covers from the early 60s, late 50s, but the Corettes, garage punk again, is kind of what they do on their music. You got Flavie Corey, she's from Brazil, she's on guitar, and Martin Corey, he is on drums, and he's from Denmark, and so their group is based out of Denmark. Corettes, another one I have a number of albums from. They're still making music. They also formed in 2015. So there's all these newer groups. 2001, I'm saying new, that's 25 years old when you think about it. But of this century, that are just two people and one man, one lady, and playing and making great music together. I maybe here's probably one of the most famous ones. White Stripes, of course. I mean, talk about 1997 to 2011, Meg and Jack White, though, not brother and sisters really, but talk about great garage rock, talk about loud sound. Jack White's guitar obviously just dominated, but Meg could really pound the drums. So, just one of the all-time best and most famous two-person groups. Okay, Seals and Crofts. Now, they got all kinds of instruments. I don't consider them a two-person group. They have all kinds of backing things going on, but these guys definitely. And then from this century, from 2001 also, the Black Keys. Out of Akron, Ohio. These guys have been doing it, rocking it, making it happen. Dan Auerbach on guitar and vocals, and Patrick Carney on drums. So a man and two guys on which seems to be most of mine are a man and a woman. But great stuff from them. I'd like to have more Black Keys. I'm a little short on them, not as much, but I like the sounds and the kind of blues that they play. Kind of garage rock, blues rock is what they're known for. Really good stuff. We have, this one's kind of so-so as far as is it or is it not, Dean and Britta, Dean Wareham, and Britta Phillips, there we go. She's made some solo records by herself. They, again, very kind of dreamy stuff, but it's very indie rock, probably indie pop. Maybe indie pop is what you could say. formed in 2003. And oftentimes they play alone, but they do add in a lot of other instrumentation and that to kind of fill out their sound, but their vocals really go well together. And they are a married couple, but wonderful music from them. From electronica, how about this? Well, they use a lot of electronic. We have Beach House. And Victoria, I got these written down because I couldn't remember. Legrad from the who does vocals and keys, and Alex Scully, guitars, keys, and backing vocals. Talk about making a lot of music. And a lot of times it's just those two on there, but they're using especially the keys to create a lot of other sounds. Drum machines are going to help with them. Dream pop, indie pop is what they do. Formed in 2004. And still going on, so doing well. You know, this is one of the few album covers that actually survived the flood. It's a little warped. It never has flattened out really well, but yeah, good, made it. Electronic duos. There's Daft Punk. I have a Daft Punk, but I can't find where the hell my Daft Punk album's at. Maybe I don't have it anymore. But Air. Great dual. And these electronic ones really keep it at dual. They don't always bring in a lot of instrumentation. They just create those sounds on what they want to have. And Air is out of France. So it's kind of interesting. You know, we got Italy, Denmark, there's Brazil, there's the US, there's the UK, there's France. Just all over the place with this. And Nicholas Godin and Jean Benoit Duchamp, whatever, 95 to 01. And wonderful stuff. Electronic, chill out music. Big fan of Air. Really like the music that they have put out. Moon Safari by far is one of the best, but a duel, a great duel. Let's do another country while we're at it. And Norway. There's a duel. Kings of Convenience, Riot on an Empty Street. And out of Norway, Erland Roy and Eric Bo. They both have O's with a cross through them, which I have zero idea what that even goes. But this is folk, indie folk. They put out 4 albums, and they formed in 1999. Just beautiful, quiet. There may be other instrumentation, there like some strings on there, maybe a little piano, but oftentimes it's just the two of them singing, doing what they do. And so really, yeah, a very, very good folk duo. Why not another country, okay? You can see there's so many countries that do this, which is really neat. First Aid Kit out of Sweden. This really is a favorite group of mine. Johanna and Clara Soldenberg, formed in 2007, still making great music together. Folk Americana would be in there, you know, getting out of Sweden, but they do Americana and they do it very, very well. But a wonderful folk duo. Oftentimes, it's just those two up there. They do have a backing band, again, to fill out their sound, but you generally will hear them. I mean, their harmonies are wonderful, with them both playing guitar, and oftentimes that's what you get with their music. Wonderful, wonderful group. Another folk duo, Americana from the U.S. Only did 2 albums, but a favorite is The Civil Wars. These guys made, yeah, I got an extra elbow there I don't need. Phenomenal music together. Really love this group. I was really sad when these guys broke up, but they couldn't get along for whatever reason. Joy Williams and John Paul White. Joy sang vocals and John Paul did guitars and vocals, and again the blending of their music was of their voices was incredible. They only did 2 albums together. Wonderful stuff. Fantastic duel that I think did good stuff. So that's some of what I have. I obviously there's a lot more out there. You have them, show them, or whatever. But yeah, they're really, some of these, a lot of those, especially those garage rock, garage punk, indie rock, they make incredible noise for just 2 people. Phenomenal. it's exciting music, and so you don't have to have a four-piece band. If you only have two, there's less people to fight with. It's cheaper. You make more money that way. So I mean, it's a kind of a win-win. Unless you want more company, then it kind of sucks because you're only looking at that person. That's all you get. So yeah, interesting stuff. So thanks for hanging out and looking at those albums. It was really fun to revisit them and listen to that music because it is some really cool stuff. Check out some of those. You can see they're from all over the place. It's a wonderful world we live in. Thanks. Bye.